Hello everyone and welcome to Victoria's Cantina. Today we're having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars The Force Awakens, the Black Series 6-inch FN-2187. Okay you guys, so looking here at the packaging, you can see that this is the same Star Wars 6-inch packaging that we have been seeing since the launch of the Force Awakens line. Got a pretty interesting image of Finn down there at the bottom, or FN-2187, and he just looks pretty serious. It looks like that's probably when he was like a serious Stormtrooper that meant business. Figure is nicely displayed inside the packaging. On one side it simply says Finn, FN-2187. Opposite side indicates that this is number 17 in the 6-inch Black Series for The Force Awakens. And at the very back, we get the same image of Finn and some information there about him. It says, after his first taste of combat during a brutal First Order night assault on a Jakku village, Stormtrooper FN-2187 defects from Kylo Ren's forces, becoming a fugitive. So I'm going to go ahead and get Finn, or FN-2187, out of the packaging, and we'll take a closer look and see what he's like. Alright you guys, and here is Finn out of the packaging, and I must say that I am truly pleased with this figure. It's a very simple figure, being that it mostly reuses parts from the original 6-inch First Order Stormtrooper, but the results here are just exquisite. I think that Hasbro did an awesome job here, and I'll show you why I think that this particular Finn head is even better than the original. First of all, the frame of the figure is very nice, has a very natural silhouette. The First Order Stormtrooper from the 6-inch Force Awakens line has always been my favorite, aside from the fact that it lacks double-hinged elbows. It's still a very nice figure, and having that body here is just great. Of course, Finn is quite loaded with articulation and has some very nice accessories. And I'll give you a close-up here of Finn's head, and it just looks freaking amazing. Like, they totally got John Boyega's likeness with this 6-inch figure. They've always done a really good job with his likeness, but I think on this particular figure it just looks perfect, and I'm super pleased with that. And I'll go ahead and bring in the original Finn here so that you can see them side by side. First of all, it is quite obvious that these are two different head sculpts. Initially I thought it was going to be just a simple head swap onto the Stormtrooper's body, but that's not the case. Hasbro actually gave us a newly sculpted head, and the results, guys, are just phenomenal. In fact, I would go as far as to say that this is the absolute best human likeness that Hasbro has probably ever done, and certainly the best from the 6-inch Star Wars Black Series line. It just looks magnificent, and I couldn't be happier with the way that the head looks. Really awesome. See that the hair is very nicely done. It's got a very nice profile there. Just all around, very stunning looking figure. There's a little bit of like gloss here and there to the figure's head, which is pretty cool. It gives it a little bit more realism. Maybe it's like a little bit of sweat. There is a little bit of a splotch there on his cheek, and that's a little bit annoying, but you know, really it's not too noticeable. And if you put the helmet on him, it's certainly not noticeable at all, quite obviously. So the rest of the body is very nicely done. Again, it shares most of its parts with the original First Order Stormtrooper, with one exception. The torso is a little bit shorter on Finn here, and I guess he was a little bit shorter than the other Stormtroopers in the film. Nonetheless, I just think this looks fantastic. Excellent silhouette. The frame, the body shape is just right, I think. Very nice. The head doesn't look terribly small, maybe just a little bit small, but you know, you can't expect perfection at this scale. So I think that it looks, you know, absolutely great. All around, it's just a very nice body. Really like the job that Hasbro did with their Stormtrooper figure. So I know you want to see the helmet, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. The helmet right here is brand new because the previous Stormtrooper obviously didn't have a removable helmet. And it looks just right. In my opinion, it's sculpted very nicely. It's painted very nicely. You can see that the black lines are very clean, which hasn't always been the case with the Stormtrooper 6-inch figures. This one looks very good. And of course, you get the little blood handprints there on his helmet, which, you know, is something that relates to the film. I think it would have been great if they would have included both a cleaner removable helmet and then this one with the blood splotches. And the helmet actually fits on very nicely, just like that. A lot of the time with removable helmet figures, the figures look like they have huge heads, and that's actually not the case at all with this Finn figure. It actually looks quite natural. If I go ahead and bring in the regular Stormtrooper, you can see that The helmet sizes really aren't that much different. Finn's head may be just a little bit bigger because the helmet is slightly larger, but it's not too noticeable at all. And you can even see the height difference here where Finn's a little bit shorter than the regular version of the Stormtrooper. So in the way of articulation, I'll go ahead and pop off his helmet, but I will show you that you can move his head around with the helmet, which is awesome. Go ahead and pull that off. Takes a little bit of force to get it off, but there we go. You get a ball joint here at the head and a very nice range of movement with Mr. Finn. Articulation is the same on the body as the previous Stormtrooper. You get your ball joints here at both of the shoulders. You get hinges at both of the elbows, bends and swivels at both of the wrists. You get a very nice ball joint at the torso that gives you lots of nice movement. You get hinging at both of the hips and a pretty decent range of movement with them. Very smooth moving double bends at the knees, and then hinging at both of the ankles, accompanied by rocker swivels. So, I mean, that's about as nice as you can expect. I do think that this body would have benefited from having double bends at the elbows for posing purposes. In the way of accessories, Finn does come with two. First of all, you get the typical Stormtrooper blaster. This is the same one that previous releases of the Stormtrooper have come with. You also get the smaller Stormtrooper blaster that has been released with the other Stormtroopers too. And yep, you do get the little plug right there on his hip still so that you can attach the blaster. Both of them fit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the Hasbro Star Wars The Force Awakens 6-inch Black Series Finn FN-2187. Overall, you guys, I gotta say, it's very rare that Hasbro absolutely nails a figure, especially at this day and age where Hasbro's cutting corners all across the board, from Star Wars to Marvel to Jurassic World. Basically, all of their lines have suffered quite a bit in the last few years for a number of reasons. So it does make me very happy and even a little bit hopeful when Hasbro goes and makes an absolutely perfect figure, as is the case with this 6-inch Finn. As I said before, the sculpt of this Stormtrooper body has always been absolutely excellent. The fact that they went as far as to give Finn a brand new head when all they really had to do was a head swap is quite impressive to me. And the fact that they made it look perfect just speaks volumes about how much care went into this particular figure. At this point in time, there is rarely anything that Hasbro does that I consider to be a perfect 10, but on a scale from 1 to 10, I have to give this Finn a 10. It's a perfect figure. If you're a fan of The Force Awakens and you like the 6-inch line, then it's a no-brainer to pick this up. You really need it in your collection because it is perfect, and I highly doubt that going forward, we're going to see a whole lot of figures that are perfect in any way. This is one of them. Don't miss out on it. I am 100% comfortable saying that this is now my favorite 6-inch figure in the Force Awakens line and one of my overall favorite 6-inch Black Series figures that Hasbro has done since they started a few years ago. Alright my friends, if you enjoyed this video, then I do encourage you to please like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you think about FN-2187 and whether or not you're planning on picking him up. Be sure and follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And as always, I do want to thank you for watching Victoria's Cantina. Until next time, my friends, bye-bye.